Hello and happy Wednesday. I'm Celeste Lay, and we here at NewsWatch Ole Miss can't wait to start off your hump day evening.
Yes, and I'm Hannah Baker. Starting the show off strong tonight, we have exciting news for Pookie and Broadway lovers alike, with a taste of live music coming to Oxford this weekend for the big game.
Plus, we will be talking about what Muslim students on campus are asking from the university.
But before we get into our amazing show tonight, we have been hit with another day of great weather here in Oxford.
Yes, you're right, Hannah. Today was the perfect temperature. Hopefully this weather stays for all the fun activities we have planned in Oxford this weekend.
Let's hand it over to our weather anchor, William Traylor, for more on this beautiful weather today. William?
Well, the heat came back, but the rain stayed away. But nonetheless, a beautiful day to be here on Ole Miss's campus. And we're going to see weather like this for about the next week, and I'll have more about that coming up in your full forecast. Back to you at the desk.
Before we get into our show tonight, we have an update on the possible expansion of the Muslim prayer room on campus.
Here is NewsWatch reporter Logan Green to talk more about it.
Students are calling for an expansion of the university's current prayer facilities, citing the need for more space to accommodate their growing numbers.
So the first time I ever came to the prayer room, we had a sister's henna event. It was right after Ramadan, and there are a lot of Muslim women on campus. I would rate that there's more Muslim women than Muslim men, and because of the separation that we have to have when we pray, I noticed that it felt kind of cramped, even though we were just sitting around and doing henna and just engaging in conversation. It was barely enough space to do that. We had to have people sitting outside on the floor while they were still engaged with the conversation. Obviously, it wasn't as comfortable.
At least 5 times a day, Muslim students gather here to perform their daily prayers, but they say overcrowding has become a regular issue. Students are often forced to cram together in this small space to carry out their devotions.
Of course, there are a lot of things that come with expanding the prayer room, but it would show the support for, everybody on campus for our global community. We have 2 chapels and we have 1 small prayer room, but expanding the size would definitely show that we care about all of our students and all of their beliefs.
The students hope that by working with the administration, they'll be able to secure a more inclusive prayer space that reflects the needs of their growing community.
The first thing in the University of Mississippi Creed is, I believe in fairness and civility for each person, and an expanded prayer room just shows our commitment to our creed.
The university has acknowledged receiving the request and is currently reviewing options to address the students' concern. Meanwhile, the Muslim Student Association leaders say they will continue to advocate until they see meaningful change.
With NewsWatch Ole Miss, I'm Logan Green.
For all of the TikTok users at home, get a kick out of this. A special influencer who graduated from Ole Miss is making her way back to Oxford tonight. International influencer Pookie will be in Oxford again tonight. Campbell Puckett went viral for posting lifestyle videos on TikTok with her husband Jet. She is globally known as Pookie from her TikTok videos, which is what her husband calls her. Pookie graduated from Ole Miss and is now having a seminar at the Pavilion tonight at 7:30. The couple will speak on building brands with women in business and empowering talks. Doors open at 5 p.m. and the event will start at 6 p.m. until 7:30. Tickets are $15 for general admission on eventbrite.com. You definitely do not want to miss this. And speaking of upcoming events, have you been wanting to see a Broadway musical but can't travel all the way to New York? The Tony and Grammy-winning musical, Dear Evan Hansen, is coming to Oxford, but only for 1 night. It is the first musical to take a groundbreaking look from the view of parents and young people in our complex and social media lives. It is recommended for ages 12 and up, as it contains adult themes and topics of suicide. You can see the musical live at the Ford Center tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Visit fordcenter.org for more information and to purchase tickets.
Starting tomorrow, the Oxford Shrine Club will be kicking off their annual Far Carnival. The carnival will open tomorrow at 4 and will continue throughout the weekend until Sunday at 6 at the Lafayette County Multipurpose Arena. Guests can expect fun fall rides, games, and food. Tickets are free, but parking will cost $5. And Oxford, get your dancing shoes ready because this Friday, Visit Oxford is hosting its annual Square Jam session at City Hall. Residents and students can enjoy this free night on the square starting at 5 and ending at 9 for an evening of live music, food, and community celebration. Some of the performers include the Neon Junkies, Thistle Ridge, and Maggie Rose, who had an iconic performance at the 2022 Double Decker Festival.
Seniors, are you feeling a little worried about post-grad life and transitioning into the real world? I know I am, and if you are too, listen up.
Ole Miss Student Alumni Council is hosting Bridging the Gap, an event led by young alumni leaders to help current students bridge the gap between college life and postgraduate world. The panelists will provide information on what students can be doing right now to help them be successful at the beginning of their career.
And there will be free food. I mean, who doesn't love free food?
Right?
It will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the Inn at the Ole Miss Ballroom.
Campus recreations are getting in on the Halloween fun.
Students can make their way to the Turner Center for a free Halloween hip-hop class next Wednesday.
Those who attend the 45-minute spooky-themed class can enter to win some Ole Miss fitness apparel.
Students do not need a fit pass to attend. Just show up with your friends and have a spooky time. Well, coming up, we have more about exciting changes on campus. Stay tuned to find out about the new department heads in one of our programs.
Plus, we have your election news updates you don't want to miss. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back after the break.
Gonna be a hot one out there for move-in weekend, Ole Miss. Good luck this year, Rep.
You did it. You're home. I can't wait for you to discover the true meaning of Hotty Toddy. It's a cheer that connects us all to the red and blue. It's the moment that begins when you step on campus and continues long after you turn your tassel. I can't wait for you to discover your legacy and make the world a better place. Are you ready?
Hurricane Helene, devastating impacts on the southeast. Now it's time to help the people and communities who need it most. To make a one-time financial gift to the American Red Cross, scan the QR code on the screen. Make sure to select I want to support Hurricane Helene and enter how much you'd like to donate. Or go to redcross.org/donate. Together, we will make a difference for those recovering in hard-hit communities.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. There have been lots of new changes in the School of Journalism,
including multiple new chairs for journalism and new media departments.
NewsWatch reporter Gabe Evans talked to these new department chairs to learn more about them.
The School of Journalism and New Media, located in Farley Hall, is home to thousands of journalism and IMC students from across the country. Over the past several years, the school has had exponential growth, and with that growth comes new faculty, departments, and majors. This year, the School of Journalism and New Media is welcoming a new chair in each of its departments. Dr. Bill Cassidy in Journalism, Dr. Brian Smith in Integrated Marketing and Communications, and Dr. Rashad Mamadov in the new Department of Media and Communications. Here is what Journalism Department Chair Dr. Bill Cassidy had to say about his vision as the new lead of the department.
I certainly have ideas, but it would be rather arrogant of me to say, all right, here's what we're going to do, without relying on the vast experience of what everyone has done, who's been here in the years before. So I'm interested in what the faculty and the students tell me. They, and employers as well, what they would like to see. I think it's also very important to think about, well, what do we as the department want our identity to be? What do we want the students to come out of here knowing how to do? What are the kinds of things we want to, give them?
Dr. Cassidy also stated that he is excited about what he and the department can do and how they can utilize their resources to build students up to working professionals. Integrated Marketing and Communications, also known as IMC, is one of the largest and fastest growing majors here at Ole Miss. Students from across the state and the country are attending Ole Miss specifically for this major. Department Chair Dr. Brian Smith finds the fast-changing field to be most important for current and future IMC professionals.
With things that we talked about, social media, we use the term new media. We use lots of different kind of online media terms, digital media, all those things. Those were considered like the new for a long time, but they're not new anymore. In fact, you can get textbooks from only a couple of years ago, and they're pretty much out of date because how quickly the communication field changes. IMC grapples with a number of different things, but the change means that we have to be on top of things. Right? We have to understand what's going on in the professional world. The biggest changes you probably might imagine is AI.
The School of Journalism and New Media is introducing the Department of Media and Communications. The new department and soon-to-be major is being led by Dr. Rashad Mamadov. Here's what he had to say about the future and goals of this new addition to Farley.
So this new degree, I saw this new degree as an opportunity to build something very comprehensive and something that would address students' need after they graduate. Our approach in this department with the new program is to make sure we link everything that we do, everything students do throughout their 4 years in the institution, to the practical outcomes at the end, while combining it with the theoretical understanding and the general understanding of, let's say, the why question. Why certain types of communication work? Why certain types of communication and methods and platforms work better than others. And we will be trying to reflect that in our degree. And I'm excited to work not just with our own faculty in the Media and Communication department, but with also journalism and integrated marketing and communication departments as well.
The School of Journalism and New Media is committed to fostering growth and innovation in all of its programs, shaping the future of media professionals. I'm Gabe Evans for NewsWatch Ole Miss.
It's always great to see new faces on campus, and we can't wait to see their success here.
Now it's time for your update on national news.
Here's Cassidy Rickley with The Watch.
Harris avoided what could have been a fatal injury. A man accused of driving under the influence was arrested after his vehicle headed towards Vice President Harris's motorcade. The man who was driving his SUV on the wrong side of Interstate 94 failed multiple field sobriety tests, and once an officer saw an open container of alcohol inside the man's vehicle, he was taken into custody. The deputies on scene reportedly told him that he almost hit the president, and the man claimed that he had no recollection of being on the interstate and he had no intention of hurting anyone, including Vice President. No injuries were sustained by anyone involved. In more election news that could impact your vote, hackers are targeting the upcoming election, according to Microsoft. Iranian government-linked hackers have reportedly been probing election websites in multiple swing states. Reports offered by Microsoft suggest that Iranian hackers are possibly looking for vulnerabilities that could be used in influence in the upcoming election. Microsoft states that they expect the Iranian hackers groups to increase its activity as the election nears. Although this could potentially worry voters, Microsoft also states that the threats do not threaten the integrity of voting. In happier election news, early voting has commenced. The voters are showing up in drives. As we are less than 2 weeks away from the election, more than 20 million ballots have already been casted. This data comes from 47 different states and the District of Columbia. Although we don't have any updates on what the candidates are doing in their campaign trials, we do know that they are still going to battleground states to appeal the undecided voters. That's all I have for you on The Watch. I'm Cassidy Rickley with NewsWatch Ole Miss. Back at you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Cassidy. Well, I think it's time for another weather update. William, could you tell us a bit about tonight's conditions?
Absolutely. Just like today was probably one of the hottest days we've had in October, tonight's going to be one of the warmest nights for October anyway. I'll have more about that coming up right after the break.
here when you're ready.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
Two flashlights.
So chill. Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you.
And the National Weather Service presents to you absolutely nothing. Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm William Traylor. A funny tweet there from the National Weather Service in Memphis talking about how there's just nothing going on in the region, and there really hasn't been for quite a while as far as precipitation is concerned. We're going to stick with that for quite a while. Tomorrow we're going to see, today we have seen sunny skies all day long. It has really been a gorgeous day outside. A little bit more heat than we expected. Absolutely no precipitation to cool us down though. It's dry outside and it's going to stay dry for quite some time. This 15% precipitation that we're seeing will be on our forecast for quite some time. However, we probably won't see anything much as far as reasonable accumulation in that precipitation. Now we're going to look at our current temperatures around the region, and we see that upper 80s again. This is really going to be the last time we're going to see these 80-degree temperatures for the remainder of the year. 85 in South Haven, 86 in the northeast corner of the state over in Corinth, and 80 here in Oxford. And it has just been a great day. It really has been, and it's going to stay that way for the remainder of the week on into game day weekend. We're actually going to get a little bit of relief for game day weekend, and that's going to be very welcome. As the National Weather Service was saying, nothing around the region as it pertains to precipitation. Absolutely nothing. It is so clear and gorgeous. We're going to see all of our temperatures really settle in because there's no cloud cover to insulate anything in the atmosphere, so everything that comes down is going to stay down, and that's what we're going to be working with for about a week or so. Tonight we're going to see 55 degrees as your low, 4 miles an hour as far as the wind. That's not really going to make any measurable difference as it pertains to that 55. What you see on that thermometer is basically how it's going to feel for a while because there's not going to be any wind to account for a wind chill or anything like that. Now tomorrow we're going to see the same thing we saw today. 84 degrees for your high, no precipitation whatsoever, 5 miles per hour for your wind, which again is really not enough to make a difference as far as that heat index is concerned or as far as that feels like temperature is concerned. It will feel every bit of 84 degrees. But coming into your weekend, we will see that start to dwindle. But for tomorrow, mid-80s all the way across the region. Holly Springs is actually going to crawl up to about 87 degrees, which is the hottest that we're going to see it for quite a while. Now tomorrow we're going to get into a little bit more of those cooler temperatures. 84, Friday we're going to get into 86, and for your game day weekend we're going to see our first view of 70-degree weather that we're going to see for a minute or two. It's going to go back into 80 degrees when we go into Monday with a low of 58 for next week, but it's really going to be an absolutely gorgeous game day weekend. So get those short sleeves out. It'll probably be the last time that you'll be able to wear them this year. Hope y'all enjoy it.
I know, especially with Georgia, it's going to be freezing. But I'm so glad it'll be a little sunny and a little warm for this weekend's game.
Yes. So excited. Warm equals good sports.
Right? Yeah. For us in sports.
Yes. Well, coming up in sports, there was definitely a party in the pavilion last night to get fans ready for the start of basketball season. Check back in to see all of the madness. NewsWatch Ole Miss. We'll be right back.
Hey, Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi. because picking up litter costs us time
and money.
MDOT spends $3.2 million a year picking up litter.
That's money that could be used to maintain roads and bridges,
patch potholes, and focus on improving Mississippi's infrastructure.
Please help us help you.
We can't do it without you. Don't trash Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Hi. Can I get the Now Bar, please?
No problem. $1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hi, can I get a Now Bar, please?
$1.
Thanks.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, let me get a Now Bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
How's it going? Can I get a Now Bar?
Hey, stop right there! Get down on the ground out here, Conrad! Get down! Show me your hands!
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Haley Hood with Sports Watch. Kicking things off in sports, the party in the pavilion was last night to get the crowd ready for the start of both men and women's basketball seasons, and I was there to catch all of the fun action.
Tonight, I attended the brand new event, Party in the Pavilion, where I can confidently say it was an electrifying start to what promises to be an exciting year for both ranked basketball squads. The Rebs made the action live up to the hype from start to finish, and I spoke to Malik Dia and Javon Benton to hear their thoughts on the upcoming season.
Can you describe the team's defensive strategy for this season?
Our defensive strategy is to keep other teams under 50 points. And we're going to make sure that they score less than we do.
How are you going to ensure that this happens?
We have Coach Adams, the best defensive coach in the country.
What is the team's mindset heading into the first few games of the season?
Dominate, win by 20 plus, be the most aggressive team, and play as hard as we can.
What are your personal goals and how do you plan to achieve them?
Going to the NCAA tournament, and I feel like we can do that by just working hard second days.
What are your thoughts on the new recruits and how do you think that they'll impact the season?
I love the new recruits. I feel like we all bring something new to the table and something different to the table than last year, and I just hope that we can, make a run this year.
This event featured standout performances from both teams and even the crowd, including a series of three-point contests, a half-court shooting contest, rock, paper, scissors, shoot, basketball cup pong, and even a crawl-around for crumble cookies. Coach O said herself that the sense of community within this crowd was evident, reminding us that basketball is more than just a sport. It's a shared experience that brings people together. Let's hear what else the head women's basketball coach had to say.
What are you most excited for coming into the season?
I'm just excited about embracing the community, them seeing a good product. Both teams are ranked nationally, and we want to back that up with a great style of.
What is your philosophy of balancing offense and defense this upcoming season?
Well, I think both are important. We have a reputation for our defense, so dictate and disrupt, but offensively we went and did some recruiting and brought some people in that can help us on the offensive side. And there's no cookie cutter way to defeat opponents in the best conference in the country. So you have to take each game one by one, find out what their weaknesses are, exploit those, and then use our strengths to dictate what we want on the court.
And that's all I've got for tonight for Party in the Pavilion. I hope you all enjoyed it just as much as me, and I will see you at all the basketball games, Rebel fans. Hotty toddy. And for the first time in program history, the Ole Miss men's golf team is ranked #1 in the country. The squad captured their second straight victory, winning the 2024 Fallen Oak Collegiate Invitational with a score of 844, 20 under par. This marks the first back-to-back team victory since the 2016 season. 4 Rebels finished inside the top 10, with senior Kai Meeks leading the way, and behind him was Tom Fisher, Cohen Trolio, and Michael Lasasso. This victory wraps up their fall slate with 2 victories and 4 finishes inside the top 2. Very successful, if you ask me. And our very own QB1, Jackson Dart, has been named one of the 16 national finalists for the 2024 William V. Campbell Trophy. This trophy is college football's premier Scholar Athlete Award, given annually to an individual recognized as the absolute best in the nation for a combined of academic success, football performance, and exemplary leadership. Dart is the 9th player in Ole Miss history to be named an NFF Scholar Athlete. In his overall career, Dart is 727 of 1,024 for 10,075 yards and 66 touchdowns, with a career rushing line of 1,229 yards and 14 scores on 328 carries. With all of that being said, the William V. Campbell Trophy is calling Jackson Dart's name. And that's all I've got for sports. Be sure to tune in tomorrow and on Friday for Rebel Watch, our sports talk show. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back after the break.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter, a college student,
a mother, and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready for every storm and disaster that threatens my community. I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
If words were enough, I would help you bear your burden. I would watch each child of yours grow strong and true. Teach them to read and to write and to sing, so that their voices be forgotten nevermore. If words were enough, I would sate your hunger, and you would know you are my sister, my brother, my child. If words were enough.
The funny thing about Hannah is she never crawled. She skipped it entirely and went straight to walking and running. She was such an eager little girl. Guess she was always looking for the next amazing thing. I know that Hannah loved every one of
you. We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
We're welcoming you guys back on a spookier note. If your day wasn't already filled with thrilling fun, it's about to be.
Get your screams and popcorn ready, because today is National Horror Movie Day.
That's right. This holiday was made to honor the life of horror film director Sam Raimi, who's known for iconic movies like The Evil Dead and Spider-Man, just in case those action scenes get you out of your seats.
Although you don't have to watch any of the horror films by Raimi, you can still enjoy classics like The Exorcist and more recently, Chucky.
Well, that's all we have tonight. Tune in tomorrow. I'm Hannah Baker.
And I'm Celeste Lay with your latest news.
And I'm Haley Hood with Sports Watch.
And I'm William Trailer with Storm Watch.
Be sure to keep up with us on our socials and tune in tomorrow at 5. NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.